Hello students, today in the computers we will begin chapter number 11, Visual Basic Operators and Functions. So we have already learned about the toolbox, various type of tools that are present. Now we will learn how we are going to work with the numbers and text in the Visual Basic. Before that we should know the meaning of variables. Variables you have already read many times in your mathematics. In algebra, you have already learned about the variables. In that, you learned that anything which keeps on changing, the terms whose values keep on changing are called as the variables. Like for example, if I say x, y, z, a, b, c, so these all are the variables. Why? Because I can consider the x as 1 also. I can consider the x as 10 also. I can consider the x as 2 also. So the value is not fixed. We are changing it every time. That's why these are the variables. So the same concept is used in the Visual Basic also, and the same concept you have learned in your Q Basic also. So that's why we say that variables are what? Variables are temporary location in computer's memory. These are temporary. These are not permanent. Why? Because the values will keep on changing. That's why these are called as temporary locations. Now, what does this contain? Or what can be a variable? A variable can be any word. A variable can be a number. It can be a date or anything else. Now there are certain rules that we need to follow for naming the variable. The first rule is that the variable name must be less than 255 characters. In fact, 255 is also a lot. So you cannot use more than 255 characters for naming a variable. No spaces allowed. No space should be there in the variables. Always a variable has to begin with an alphabet. We said no space is allowed and it must not contain special character. It should not contain special characters like these that are given. Only one special character, that is the sign of period, is allowed. Except this, no other special character can be included in naming the variables. So here we are with some of the examples that show us which are the valid variable names and which are invalid variable names. So here you can see in the valid section we have your underscore name. It's a correct variable name because we have not given the space. We have not given more than 255 character. We begun with the alphabet and none of the special character out of this is included in this one. But if you write your dot name, so sorry, I said this is allowed. This is actually not allowed. So we have written your dot name. This is not allowed. Dot is not allowed as a separator. For separator only underscore is allowed. So therefore this is wrong. This is an invalid variable name. If I write num2, it is correct. It's a valid name. But in case if I write 2num, it's an invalid variable name. Why? Because we said that the variable name must begin with alphabet. And here it is beginning with number. Therefore, it is invalid variable name. Then example, another is address. That's a valid name. That's a valid variable name. But if I make it address and city, this is an invalid variable name. Why is this invalid? Because we had made use of this and, that is a special character, and we said that these special characters are not allowed. So therefore this is an invalid variable name. My age, this is correct. This is a valid variable name. But if I make it like this, you can see the space is given between and the spaces are not allowed. Space is not allowed. So therefore this is again an invalid name. Now moving ahead, we will be looking at what are constants. Constants also you read in mathematics that the term whose value can never be changed. Like for example, if I say 2x, in the 2x, x is a variable because we can consider x as anything. We can consider it as 4, 5, 6 or anything else. But the 2 will always remain 2. 2 can never be 3, 2 can never be 10, 2 can never be 20. So the value of the 2 is always 2, it is fixed. So same way here we have the constants. So constants are the one whose value do not change during the execution of a program. So you can see same is mentioned in the book. A constant stores a value that does not change during execution of a program. When we execute the program, the value will not change. If somewhere we have given 4, it will always be 4. If we have given 10, it will always be 10. It's not changing. So these are constant. And there is a way to write constant, and that way of writing is called as syntax. So what the syntax should be? Const, C-O-N-S-T, const, name of the variable that you are giving, as, you have to write the keyword as, you have to give the data type. Data type will tell what type of data is stored in this one, equals to value. Like here you can see const m marks as integer equals to 100. This has made the value constant. That means this 100 will be constant. This is never going to change. M marks is the name of the variable as, and the data type is integer. That consider this as integer. Then we have another example of constant. Here const, that is for making constants. Pi, this is a variable, as keyword, and the data type is single, and the value that we have given is 3.14159. So in this one, no matter how many times you execute the program, but the value of m marks will always be 100 and the value of pi will always be 3.14159. So this was about the variables and constants. Thank you.